It gets me amped every time, Kevin.
I know, right? It's getting the viewers amped too. I see Tropical Strain already commenting about it.
I feel like we should just play it again. Like, because people are coming in now, they didn't get to see it. I'm going to do it one more time. One more time, yeah. Like, who doesn't enjoy
30 more
that?
seconds.
We're back. You guys got the rerun of the epic intro. Tropical Strain. This intro was made by Bob from Award Racing. Real ZED OG. He owns Bub's Gold. For anybody that's been around since like 2021, right? Kevin, Bub's Gold was like one of the OG mid like variance beasts. Like, I don't know. It used to pull what, like 5 odds in beast fields, right?
Yeah, it was so good. I think that was one of the first horses I ever made a big bid on, and then Bob was just politely said, "No, this is my baby."
What'd you bid?
I think it was like 8 or 10. It was something pretty heavy.
So Kevin, it's Legends League Championship week. This is the funnel championship. So next week we are going to have a grand final, but really this is like the premier event. This is where most of the prize money is going to. Prestige, right, is going to be the grand final. We're going to crown one champion. So I guess we can't take away from that, first season ZED Legend. But this is where most of the prize money is going. And, being the sprint champion, mid champion, marathon champion is a huge achievement here in season 1 of the ZED Legends League.
Yeah, I think that's something we polled the participants about and got feedback on, the prize pool being centered around the funnel finals. But here we are, the fashionably late king, Jake.
He's big timing us. What's up, Jake?
Hey. Yeah, still think it's 9:40, which is in 7 minutes time. So I'm 7 minutes early as far as I'm concerned, gents. How are you?
Always on time. The Australian time down there. Love the ZED hoodie. Is that made out of cardboard or sandpaper?
I think it's 100% cotton.
I've got one, and it feels like sandpaper. That's my joke there.
And I've washed it a bunch of times. It's nice.
Is that what I need to do? Okay.
Yeah, just load up on the fabric softener, mate.
Got it. I'll tell the lady. Jake, you excited for Legends League Championship here?
Oh, bloody oath. Scoop's in the mix.
Oh, Scoop? Yeah. I didn't know Scoop was racing.
Yeah, Scoop. Of course you did. Taking it for a spin. Mate, very excited. Some great races, great matchups. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're very excited as well. So the format for the show, anybody that's new here, we've got 26 minutes until the first race kicks off. We got 9 races tonight. There's wagering going on over at ZBet. I'll pull that up here in a minute to show you guys. I think last I checked, there was like eight wagerers in the pool. So there's some decent pools going on over there. We're going to have play wagering going on here. We've got top 3 play wagers get prizes. The big winner this week in play wagering is going to get what I think is the top legendary Z2 that Southern Farms donated for this whole event, the Fitzgerald O legendary Z2 unraced full. So the winner tonight will get that. We got a pretty good prize for next week's grand final too. So we'll kind of give the rundown on play wagering. I think most of the people here have already done it. So if you're new, you can kind of just follow along with the people in the chat, and I think you'll pick it up pretty quickly. I don't know. We want to talk about our Z1 that we purchased. Is that where we want to go first here?
Sure, why not?
Did you see this, Jake?
I did. Yeah.
Here it is. Link to the past. So Kevin messaged me probably 2 days ago. He's been scouring through for horses. We talked about it on the Arbitrage Run show earlier this week. Kind of the obvious shifting meta here with all of the prize money this week going to less than 250, less than 500 races. And we've scooped a ton of these horses as, everybody says that ZED is dead, right? And Kevin's out there buying. We've bought, 13 horses this week, I think, Kevin?
Yeah, it's turning into a problem again, so.
You've got what's your bigger problem, XP or buying horses?
It's very related, right? Because I keep buying horses, I need more XP, so it's just fueling my addiction. The gateway drug to more XP, really.
I love it because I've always been the addict in the group with buying horses, so it's nice to have a shift here. So this is the horse, Jake. I don't know if you got a chance to look at it, but its starting level was 561. It's up at 585 now. It's only got 145 races. So Kevin, you want to walk Jake through the kind of thesis here?
Yeah, I mean, you're effectively getting like a super breed style starting level because I mean it's a Genesis, obviously. And it had been lightly run, probably not like super optimally from a level standpoint, but not butchered either. So like 585 with over 100 races left in that segment, under 250 is pretty good. And then from there, I mean, it's got distance preference, it's got stability, so it has a level advantage. You would think it's going to dominate. It kind of trolled me a little bit. I'm glad he didn't scroll down because it came in like fourth the first 2 or 3 races we had it, but finally got a win. Should be able to level it up nicely with a bunch of my XP tokens I've been buying. Yeah, excited. It was, I guess 1.15 feels like a lot in this environment, but I mean, a year ago, if you said 1.15 for a Z1, you would have thought somebody missed a digit. So it's crazy times. So I think there's a lot of upside, a lot of outs with it being a Z1 at that price.
Yeah, a nice starting level, 561 nonetheless. Sorry, Jake, go ahead. What are your thoughts here?
I was just saying it's a nice color.
Yeah, we like that.
Battle Horse Gray. Is that rare? I don't even remember.
Well, 2 of the greats, RSB and Slander.
Slander's color, of course.
Yeah.
Forget RSB because it's been coated so long.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever knew our RSB's coat color.
It's all we do for our Z1 marathoners on the Colt side.
That's literally the only reason I bought Giant and Blitz, because I thought that surely they've got to be fucking good. Slander, RSB, who's next?
That's right.
That would be how Zed coded
it. We'll never know though after the re-roll. So
yeah, that's right.
So I think that's everything that we wanted to say here, Kevin. 1.15 ETH seems low risk as long as Zed is around in a couple weeks and they don't totally flip the meta, which is always a chance, right?
It's kind of a hedge, right? Like if they flip out of this meta, it's going to help the majority of our stable. So it feels like this is the new loop where they're kind of trying to give these young horses a better place to run against peers. So you're looking for those horses that stack up well against horses of similar level or similar race count. So this checks that box as well as the other 12 that we bought this week.
This new kind of what we think is the new meta game loop that they're going for with this shift to weekly maidens and throwing all the prize, the rake and the prize pool going towards these less than 250 and 500. It makes a lot of sense, Jake. I don't know if you caught our show. We talked about it a little bit. And of course, we voiced our frustrations with everything Zed Communications and, throwing us these curveballs and stuff like that. But what are your thoughts generally? I don't know that we need to spend a whole lot of time talking about how they totally botched this 10% rake, released it at like the worst possible time and terrible communications after telling us it wasn't coming. But all of that aside, what do you feel about this kind of meta and the less than 250, less than 500 race tournaments?
Look, I love the less than 250, less than 500, how it gives an incentive to breed and a clear path and incentive for new horses. But they've sort of shot themselves in the foot by taking away the incentive for any horse that's not in that under 500 race segment. You're racing paids that are lost to earn XP now, which kind of sucks. But I don't know, XP's fucking expensive, isn't it? Like I got caught with my pants down during the last finals run and had to buy some extra XP for F in the chat when it was pumping. So after that happened, I think I went on a spree and bought like 150 of them over the next couple of days once the price calmed off. But there's a good market for it, especially around finals time. Regarding the rake, like 10% is just too high. I think if they cut out their 5% and there was a 5% rake funneled directly back into tournaments, then no one in the community could have an issue with it. And they just have to find that revenue stream elsewhere. And logically, the only place is breeding. And look, as scary as it is, I think lowering the breeding fees will stimulate the breeding ecosystem. But whether or not they've got the balls to pull the trigger on that. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, or I think we've always said, like, if you're going to bring back Rake, especially at 10%, then it shouldn't be taking 45% cut on the breeding, right? Like, and they're not making that much anyway because nobody's breeding. So, theoretically, if you lower that, if they can't change breeding the stud fees now to a place that makes sense on the lower breed types, if you reduce that percentage, it could have the same effect for people breeding in stable. So I don't know. It feels like there's levers that should be pulled here that haven't been. None of it really is intuitive. Kevin and I discussed, like even lowering Rake to 5%, 6%, and have 2/3 of it go to ZED, fine, and 2% go to the prize pools. It could still work. Like, yeah, the prize pools may have to be lower, but community sentiment is so important right now, and obviously it's never been worse. So, yeah, I don't know, Kevin. Anything to contribute here?
No, I mean, you'll mention it. I mean, it was total botch of communications again, because the game loop is actually pretty fun right now. Just nobody is enjoying it because they already have their mind made up based off the communications. That's raffle. It's like
we'll start up a raffle. We're gonna have 3 horses that we'll raffle off. The first one, Pony Whisperer says 5% is still too high. I don't think 5% is too high, to be honest. As Jake said, like, XP is expensive and there's a market for it. So that can be factored in. Like, that Rake, like, goes into this calculation of the value of XP. And if you want to play the game just to race, you can get that money back by selling your XP. It just depends, like, how you want to play the game. So personally, I think 5% would be a great test, and we would see how that all plays out. Yes, your stable profit isn't gonna look great, your ROI on these horses and stuff, but you're actually making money on XP because there's a market there, right, Kevin?
Yeah, I mean, that, or you play it slow and just do freeze and avoid the Rake if you didn't like that. But I mean, I am impressed with how much the value of XP is holding up, like, for the ones that would be grinding and selling. Because as a buyer, I keep wanting it to drop, and it's not really dropping. It drops a little bit, and then it re-levels off, and I can almost guarantee it's going to balloon again on Sunday night, U.S. time, when tournaments happen.
It's a really interesting ecosystem they've created, and that's why I've for months, as everybody is just, like, ragging on this progression and XP NFTs and stuff like that, I've been saying let's hold out and see how it all kind of shapes up. And it was really fun when they launched it. And I think sentiment had turned. Everything was positive there for like 48 hours, and then they just totally botched it. Like, honestly, one of the worst business decisions I could imagine them making, to drop Rake like that at that time, after people were starting to come back in and see, oh, what are these XP NFTs about? And, it's just, it hurts. It legitimately hurts, like, that they did this without thinking it through, it seems.
I think one of my biggest gripes with the paid tournaments at the moment is they've got, after 1 week of a nice relief of having, average of your 10 scores or average of all scores, they've gone back to the best of scoring with paids, forcing you to race 30, 40 times in a week when you're racing at a loss to just earn XP. Like, for me, it just doesn't make sense.
So maybe true in the open class, but like these less than 250, less than 500 tournaments in class 1 aren't going to fill. So it's essentially a free qualification if you get to 10 races and you can stop. That's what we're doing with our horses. I would recommend anybody does that. If you have a horse that you think has, like, any chance at winning a race, you might as well throw them in there for 10 races. Maybe you're donating, but you're going to win some XP in those. You got a shot at a big XP multiplier in the tournament, and you got a shot at some real cash prizes because there's $12,500. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this, because the less people that qualify, the better our chances are, right? And that prize pool isn't going down, Kevin, but I think it's obvious, right? That's what people should be doing.
Yeah. No, I think that comment was geared towards the conditional bans. They finally opened up that 601 to 650 ban everyone's been waiting for, but you have to race 40 times and you're racing for XP. It's kind of bittersweet to me. I don't know. I would have liked it to have stayed at the 10 race scoring. I feel like that would have been a softer blow, delivering the Rake, instead of saying, we're taking 10%, and if you want to qualify, you're going to have to qualify, race 40 times.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I'm hoping they mix it up, right? Like, there's nothing like that needs to be set in stone every week. A successful game would kind of ebb and flow week to week, and then one idea there is maybe the tournaments that have a cash prize are the ones that are best of, because those are the ones funded by the Rake. So you want people who are providing the most Rake to get rewarded. But the free ones that are just XP, like there's no need for those to have to like fight for their lives just to qualify for an XP tournament. Like 10 is enough, right?
Yeah, I feel like they're just trying to burn horses through aging with those. Like that's sort of a population control, especially with the free races. Like if you're pumping out 50 races a week to try and get your 10 wins, that's going to help slow the system down significantly for a lot of horses. So I don't know. I've been racing in a lot of my horses in the free XP tourneys this week. I've raced a couple in paids, but I got turned off after about 6 or 7 races, watching my ETH go down, knowing that I had to put in another 40 just to try and qualify for XP. So I've kind of been a bit disheartened. Yeah,
it'll be interesting. Sacred State agent thinks that 10% is a soft launch, and they'll reduce it once sit and goes are live. I mean, hopefully it doesn't make any sense to have a flat Rake. And I think that's the other point. Like, it needs to be dynamic. Double up should not be a flat 10% Rake. It should change based on race format. And of course, sit and goes is much easier to stomach. We all knew that kind of going in. So it's been 84 years. Yes. We'll see sit and goes in 2024. I mean, I'm hoping by the end of next month. Like, that seems reasonable, but I guess I don't know what reasonable is in ZED anymore. Kevin, do we need to start wagering up here and start going over the races? We're here for the ZED Legends League finals, right?
Let's start a raffle too. People are just itching to type !raffle in the chat.